amazing. I can't wait to see what you're going to sing next.
I've never even been on a plane. This was not on my radar to come to California.
When a soft-spoken janitor from Indiana walked onto the America's Got Talent stage, nobody expected him to change the show forever. But in 2025, Richard Goodall isn't just singing, he's shaking up the rules. What he just revealed might change everything about AGT going forward. And what's even crazier? Season 20 might be proof. Richard Goodall was 55, a janitor for 23 years in Terre Haute, Indiana. He'd never flown west of Missouri, never dreamed of becoming a star. But one viral video and a plane ride later, he was standing in front of millions. It all started when a teacher filmed him singing Journey's Don't Stop Believin' for students near the end of the school year, standing in a school hallway with a mic, just doing what he loved. The heartfelt moment filled with emotion and pitch-perfect vocals was shared online and quickly went viral. That moment went viral, and before Richard knew it, he was on a flight to Burbank, California. His very first flight to audition for AGT. Nervous, legs shaky, Richard stood on that AGT stage. When asked what song he'd sing, he simply said, "The song speaks for itself." And then he sang, "Journey's Don't Stop Believin'" filled the air. The crowd gasped. Judges leaned forward. And Heidi Klum slammed the golden buzzer. That janitor became a national star. Season 19 was stacked with high-tech acts, dancing drones, acrobat troops, even a precision dog show. But Richard stood alone with just a mic and a dream. With songs like Eye of the Tiger, How Am I Supposed to Live Without You, and Faithfully, he didn't just sing, he moved people. By the finale, he defeated favorites like Air Footworks and Rhythm. He didn't need flash, just heart. And America noticed. After winning, Richard didn't disappear into the celebrity cloud. He went home, back to Terre Haute, back to his janitor job. He started gigging, sure, performed at the Paramount Theater, sang Journey songs with a live band, but he stayed grounded. And now, he might be the biggest reason Season 20 looks so different. He performed not just AGT songs, but classics like Any Way You Want It, Love and Touch and Squeezin', Separate Ways, and Send Her My Love. Songs that meant something personal to him and to his fans. In a new interview, Richard opened up, "I think the sky's the limit. Anybody can try out, and I think me winning kind of proves that it doesn't have to be those polished people that play in Vegas or somebody from overseas that has been doing it for years and years that are polished and professional. That simple truth, spoken calmly by a man who used to mop floors, could rewrite AGT's future. I think this is the year for the regular everyday working person," he said. Somebody who may have won a couple karaoke contests or something, they thought to themselves, "Oh, I would never be that good." If you just put yourself out there, I mean like I did, if you just take that plane ride and give it a shot, you never know. Richard believes this next season could be the most important yet. Now, I think people realize there's room for the common person. He said, "He's not just talking, he's inspiring. This isn't just about music, it's about belief." His story is spreading far beyond stages. It's changing lives. He's opened for Jay Leno at comedy events and shared the stage with the Village People. He's even met members of legendary bands like Lynyrd Skynyrd and the Commodores. During AGT, he married his longtime fiancée, Ang, making his victory even more special. Richard continues to perform small, heartfelt shows and creates original music with his local band, Sugar Shack. They're inspired by the 80s rock sound he loves and are working on new material. He also sings at community venues like Depot Street Park in Greenfield. These shows bring him joy, simple settings, real people, and songs that matter. Richard's performances include AGT favorites and Journey songs like Stone in Love. These tracks now carry new meaning for fans who see their own story in his. Backed by Anthem Radio Band, a skilled group from Vegas and LA, Richard shines on stage. Each concert becomes a celebration of dreams come true, and through it all, Richard continues to do what he does best, sing with heart. Since his big win, Richard's journey has taken him to places and people he never imagined. From sharing stages with iconic musicians to performing heartfelt shows across Indiana, he's become more than a singer. He's become a story people relate to. Though he's met some big names and taken exciting steps forward, it's the everyday fans. Those who show up to local parks and theaters who remind Richard of what truly matters. His rise hasn't just inspired new singers, but anyone who's ever felt overlooked. He continues to build his music career from the heartland, working on new material and staying connected to his community. His path proves that you don't need fame or flash to make an impact, just authenticity and heart. With Richard's impact, Season 20 could be less about sparkle and more about soul. More everyday dreamers, more raw stories, more people like you and me. Imagine a season where performers don't have perfect costumes or lighting setups, but bring real voices and real stories. Richard believes this is what the show was always meant to be. And the fans, they seem to agree. If AGT becomes a show where ordinary people feel welcome, Richard Goodall will be the reason why. Richard Goodall didn't set out to be a star. He just wanted to sing. But his voice carried farther than anyone expected. It echoed in school halls, then across a stage, and now into the hearts of a nation. So if you're sitting at home wondering if you're good enough, think of Richard, the janitor who stepped up, spoke softly, and let the music do the talking. And what he just revealed? It means this year, you might be next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Would you audition for AGT now that Richard paved the way? Behind every viral sensation lies a story untold, a journey of triumph and heartbreak that cameras rarely capture. Today, we will uncover the remarkable life of Richard Goodall, the singing janitor whose voice captivated millions. But beyond the golden buzzer and standing ovations lies a past that few know about. These are the 7 untold chapters of Richard Goodall's life, ranked from merely surprising to absolutely heartbreaking. When Richard Goodall's TikTok performance went viral, he never expected to capture the attention of music industry legends, but that's exactly what happened.
Just a small town girl.
Oh, God.
Living in a lonely world. Got the midnight train going, yeah.
Steve Perry, the legendary voice behind Journey, was among the first to notice, commenting, "I love this" on Richard's performance. For a lifelong Journey fan who had been singing their songs in solitude for decades, this acknowledgement was nothing short of life-changing. Richard says, "When I saw Steve Perry's comment, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was fake at first. This is someone I've admired my entire life. I grew up singing his songs in my bedroom, never imagining he would one day hear me." But the recognition didn't stop there. The official Journey account reshared his video, and Howie Mandel, judge on America's Got Talent, posted a reaction video suggesting Richard needed to be on AGT. Little did Howie know how prophetic those words would become. Before America's Got Talent, Richard Goodall took a chance that few know about. After years of friends and family urging him to share his gift with the world, Richard submitted an audition video to The Voice, performing "Don't Stop Believing," the song that would later become his signature. The response he received was crushing. "Hello, Richard. Thank you so much for auditioning in our virtual open call. We have reviewed your performance of Don't Stop Believin'. Unfortunately, you will not be moving on to the next round." Richard says, "That rejection hit hard, really hard. Here I was, finally putting myself out there after all these years, and the door just slammed shut. I started questioning everything." Instead of giving up, Richard posted on social media, "Just so everyone knows what I'm worthy of. The Voice didn't want me, but I'll try for AGT. But regular people just don't cut it in this world. Love you all for your support." The Voice's oversight would soon become one of the most significant missed opportunities. When Richard Goodall earned his golden buzzer on America's Got Talent, the world saw a janitor's dream come true. What they didn't see was the financial reality behind that dream. In just 10 days, 382 people contributed to raise an astounding $115,000 for Richard's journey. The campaign message was simple: let's give Terre Haute, Indiana's AGT Golden Buzzer winner, our support. The outpouring demonstrated something powerful: how one man's talent had united an entire community in hope and possibility. In his AGT audition, Richard shared that he often sang alone in his room, lamenting that he didn't have a band. But this wasn't entirely accurate. Richard had a musical life that existed long before the cameras started rolling. Richard Goodall is actually a member of a local Terre Haute band called Menopause. While he may have been singing alone in his bedroom for years, he had found musical companions before his viral fame. Bandmate says in an interview, "I wasn't surprised at all by the response to Richard. I knew this was coming. He deserved it. He's just so good, especially at singing Journey. He's the perfect Journey singer." When Richard's TikTok went viral, everything changed for Menopause too. Suddenly, the local band found themselves booked solid, playing gigs every weekend at local bars and events. Richard said, "And just like that, we're booked every weekend in July. Thank you to the band for their awesome hard work and to our manager for securing the gigs." There's even speculation that Richard might perform with Menopause if he reaches the finals of America's Got Talent, bringing his musical brothers along for the most important performance of his life. In August 2022, nearly 2 years before his AGT audition, Richard experienced a taste of what was to come. And it happened right in his hometown.
Just a living in a lonely world. Took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a
Rudy Cardenas, a former American Idol contestant, discovered Richard's TikTok singing "Don't Stop Believing" and was so impressed that he invited Richard to join him on stage during a performance in Terre Haute. That night, Richard took to the stage with the confidence of a seasoned performer, belting out the Journey classic alongside Cardenas. The crowd erupted in applause, witnessing the magic that the rest of America would discover years later. On America's Got Talent, viewers were introduced to Richard's fiancée, Angie. Their love story warmed hearts across the nation. But there was another chapter to Richard's romantic life, one marked by both profound love and devastating loss. Before Angie, Richard was married for 30 years to his first wife. Their relationship was documented in countless photos showing holidays, Valentine's Days, and everyday moments filled with joy. They were inseparable, building a life together that seemed unbreakable. But on June 19th, 2021, everything changed. After a grueling battle with cancer, Richard's wife passed away. In a heartbreaking Instagram post, Richard shared his grief. "I'm so sorry, I did my best, but my best wasn't good enough. Cancer is like getting punched in the gut, falling to the ground, then told to get back up and start all over." The raw emotion in those words reveals the depth of Richard's pain. A man who had lost his partner of 3 decades despite fighting alongside her every step of the way. The most remarkable chapter in Richard Goodall's story isn't about viral fame or golden buzzers. It's about the human capacity to find light after darkness. On August 25th, 2021, just 2 months after losing his wife, Richard posted a photo with Angie, captioning it, "Fun night with my Lane at Taco Tequila's." In the midst of grief, Richard found the courage to open his heart again. Grief doesn't follow a timeline. For some, finding new love can be part of the healing process. It doesn't diminish the love that came before, it honors it by choosing to live fully again. And then came America's Got Talent. The janitor who had endured rejection from The Voice, who had lost the love of his life, who had been singing in obscurity for decades, finally stepped into the spotlight. When the golden buzzer rained down, it wasn't just recognizing a voice. It was celebrating a man who refused to let life's harshest blows define him. "Every time I sing, I feel her with me. I think she'd be proud, not just of the singing, but that I found a way to keep going, to keep believing." Richard Goodall's story reminds us that behind every overnight success lies years of persistence. Behind every smile lies battles fought in private. And sometimes the most powerful voice isn't just the one that can hit the high notes, but the one that continues to sing even after life has given every reason to fall silent. Richard Goodall, janitor, singer, survivor, a man whose unseen past breaks your heart, but whose unbreakable spirit leaves you inspired.
And what do you do for a living?
I've been a janitor for 23 years.
What really happened to Richard Goodall? After AGT will shock you. His life after the golden buzzer wasn't the Hollywood dream everyone imagined. Let's uncover the surprising journey of the singing janitor who won America's heart. Let's start at the beginning. Born in Terre Haute, Indiana, Richard lived the kind of life most of us know well. He spent his younger days singing along to his Radio Shack stereo, letting his voice fill his bedroom as he dreamed of something bigger. But life doesn't always follow our plans. After high school, with college out of reach, Richard took a job as a janitor at Chauncey Rose Middle School.
And what do you do for a living?
I've been a janitor for 23 years. The kids call me Mr. Richard.
Okay. So tell me what the big dream is, please.
My big dream? I like to sing. I love to sing. So,
Okay. Does everyone know you've come out today to audition?
just my close-knit friends and my fiancée, Angie.
Ah.
For 23 years, Richard walked those school hallways, making sure everything was clean and safe. But even while mopping floors, his voice never stopped singing. Students and teachers would stop in their tracks, amazed by the janitor with the incredible voice. They started calling him the Singing Janitor, and he became known for his moving performances at school events, especially when he sang God Bless the USA during Veterans Day celebrations. Then came 2022, the year everything changed. During a school event, teachers asked Richard to pick a special song. He chose Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, and as he sang, a teaching assistant recorded it and posted it on TikTok.
Small-town girl, living in a lonely world.
Richard Goodall stepping up to the mic at an Indiana elementary school graduation ceremony.
It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting.
What happened next was incredible. The video exploded, getting over 100,000 views in just one day. By the weekend, more than 1 million people had watched it. Even Journey's Steve Perry left a comment. The video caught the attention of America's Got Talent producers, and suddenly, the janitor who sang in empty hallways was heading to one of the biggest stages in the world. On May 27th, Richard stood in front of Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel. His performance was so powerful that Heidi hit the golden buzzer, sending gold confetti raining down on him. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Record labels started calling, and before long, Richard signed his first deal. His debut album, Believe Again, mixed original songs with covers, including his signature Don't Stop Believin'. The recording process was nothing like his quiet life in Indiana, but surrounded by producers and musicians in the studio, Richard felt right at home.
I can hardly believe it when I heard the news today. I had to come and get it straight from you.
One of his biggest moments came when he was invited to perform at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. As he walked onto that legendary stage, the crowd got excited. His performance earned him a standing ovation, a moment he'll never forget.
Richard Goodall.
But success didn't change who Richard was at heart. He kept visiting Terre Haute, staying connected to his community. He even started the Believe In Fund at Chauncey Rose Middle School, helping students who dream of music but don't have the money to pursue it. For Richard, giving back matters just as much as his own success.
Richard Goodall, the winner of America's Got Talent, is finally back here in Indiana tonight.
That's right. He started his day going back to work at the school where he first earned his fame as the singing janitor. But he didn't spend the day cleaning up after the students today. Oh no, take a look. The students and the staff and city leaders all welcome Richard Goodall back to the West Vigo Middle School. This was a pep rally that they organized and held in his honor today.
Yeah, what a party there. A member of the mayor's office gave Goodall the keys to the city of Terre Haute before he took center stage to speak to this big crowd who's been cheering him on every step of the way. Richard Goodall shared what his future looked like.
The entire town of Terre Haute came together to support him. They organized watch parties for his performances and made sure to vote during the live shows. Richard became more than just a singer. He became a symbol of hope, showing that dreams don't have expiration dates.